Welcome to another episode of the Meal Prep Monday podcast. I'm your host and founder of Prep Dish, Allison Schaaf. Today, we are continuing on with our Meal Prep Basics series for the month of April. And today I'm talking about knives and specifically keeping them sharp. Before we dive into the episode, I want to read from a customer named Allison. This is not me. This is Allison in Pennsylvania. And she says that with Prep Dish, everyone is eating healthier, shopping is easier, we're trying new things, eating more veggies than ever, and find it easier to invite people over for dinner last minute. If you would like to try out our Prep Dish meal plans, you can head to prepdish.com/MPM, short for Meal Prep Monday, and get a 2-week free trial. Again, that's prepdish.com/MPM and try it out. Okay, so on to today's episode. I have talked a little bit about knives in the past. I'll link the other episodes in the show notes, but I feel like I need to revisit it every year. Just if you were to ask me what equipment do I need in my kitchen to, make healthy meals, number one on my list is going to be a good quality knife. I really strongly encourage you, if you are chopping your veggies with a paring knife, that's just not going to be an efficient use of your time. I used to do cooking instructions in home with people back in the days when I was a personal chef. So I do know firsthand that some people, are chopping their veggies with a paring knife. And I would really encourage you to upgrade your knives if you have not. I have brands that I like and I love, but when you're looking for a good brand of knife, and I think I have an entire episode on all of the things to look for, but one of them I would say is just putting the knife in your hand and seeing what feels comfortable in your hand. Having been a chef in kitchens in the past, I know all chefs kind of have their own preference, and a lot of that's based on, what feels right in your hand. The brands that I have at home, I have Wusthoff's, I have a Shun knife, I have Nakano. They sent me a sample a few years ago. It's held up really well. And I also have another knife. I tried to look it up. So the brand, I think, is Eberhard Schaaf. So part of the name in the brand is Schaaf, which is my last name. I do not think there's any relation, although this is a German company and, the Schaafs were originally from Germany. Anyway, we have one of these knives in our kitchen. I tried to see if I could find a link for all of you. It doesn't look like the one that we have is even produced anymore. I'm not sure. I don't think they're available here in the United States. I think my husband received it as a gift years ago. Anyway, that's one of the other ones that we have on our knife rack. And I have, I don't know if I had to count up 8 to 10 probably that are out at any given time. And maybe even less than that. I feel like it's good to have different knives for different purposes, but for the most part, for me, that's only kind of a few different knives. I don't have 20 different knives that I'm using, a specific knife for each purpose. I like my knives to be pretty all-purpose. If I'm at my cutting board doing my meal prep, I like to pull out a knife and use it as I go for everything I need to chop for the day. Okay, so all of that being said, today I want to talk specifically about getting your knives sharpened. This is something that I like to put out every so often as a little public service announcement that if you have upgraded and you've gotten to the point of okay, I have these better quality knives, the next step is to make sure they are being sharpened on a regular basis. And I like to occasionally take mine in to get them professionally sharpened. I think ideally twice a year. I'll be honest, sometimes for me, it ends up being oh, I can tell they need sharpened. And so I'm only doing it once a year. I would love to get to where I'm doing it more on a regular basis twice a year. I've taken them into the local, knife sharpening place on the side of the road. I've taken them into, there's a knife company that's escaping me. You guys are probably thinking in your head, but it's the one where they used to sell them door to door. And I've actually taken them to that shop, even though I don't have that brand of knife. The guy that was there was happy to sharpen it for me. I don't know if that's something they typically offer, but there are, different places. Just kind of, Google in your area and see. But the thing that I've started doing, and I've done it, I want to say at least twice now, is there is a company that was on Shark Tank. It's called Kife Aid. And you get on their website, you put in how many knives, they send you the envelope, you stick it in the mail. And I want to say within a week or so, you get all your knives back. and they are professionally sharpened. So this is what we've been doing at our house. It's just a lot easier. The price is actually, it was competitive to getting them sharpened locally, and I actually think it was slightly cheaper. The Shun knife that I have, so Shun is Shun, and I love the Shun knives. Those knives you can actually get, like, send them into Shun, the company, and they will sharpen them for you. I think indefinitely. I do think for those, you pay the shipping, which I believe last time I want to say it was like $10, but that's a really good deal and a nice bonus for buying that brand knife is that they will continue to sharpen them for you and, do it the way that that knife is supposed to be sharpened. So when we did our Kife Aid order, that was actually, we kept our Shun knife at home and used that one while all of our other knives were out. But that was just a really good service. They are not sponsoring this podcast, but I would be open to that. So Kife Aid, if you're listening, happy to have you sponsor. But regardless, still want to just put out the reminder to get your knives sharpened. Every time I do, I get them back and it's just amazing. Like when you see people, chopping the bell peppers or the tomatoes and doing it with ease, and you're like, oh my goodness, that person their knife skills are amazing. A lot of times it's not really the skills, it's the knife. So if you find that you're struggling with chopping some of your vegetables, the first place I would look, number one, what kind of knife are you using? It's a high quality knife. And then number two, is it sharp? And if not, now's the time. So I'll make sure and link Kife Aid in the show notes below as well. So that is my PSA for today. I hope, especially if you're a prep dish listener, doing the meal prep, it's really going to make that prep day so much better. It's a significant difference from sending them off and getting them back. So I hope you give it a try. That is all I have for this week. A reminder that if you are a longtime listener of the podcast and you have not left a rating and a review, I really appreciate those. It just helps other people to find our podcast. And if you have not tried out our time-saving meal plans, you can head to prepdish.com/MPM and get 2 weeks for free. That's really the best way to just give it a try, see if it's a fit for you, see how meal prep can help save you time throughout the week. We do all the thinking for you so you don't have to. Okay, well, that's all I have for this week. I will be back again next Monday with another episode.